What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about B3 base token today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. We've got a good one today because I think that B3 is getting ready to move up, and in fact, I would suspect that by the time most of you watch this video, if not, over the coming days, those words will age very well. I think that we will be moving up from here. If I'm wrong, if I eat those words, let's talk about that first. Actually, if I'm wrong and those words don't age like a fine wine, it ages more like sour milk. We would like to pull back, I think, to this 0.006666 area. Okay, something in there. That is where Satan lives himself because of the numbers. No, but that's where, on a 4-hour basis, you have a resistance point on a closing basis. You would like to confirm prior resistance points as support points from a low to a high that fits in your expected area, right? The 1272 to the 1618, somewhere in there. Of course, you could go lower, but I don't think you will. 0.006, I suppose, is the lowest that I'd accept that you could go, but I don't think that you do go down there. I think what you have right now is what is a very classic pattern called an Adam and Eve formation. And generally, these formations with Adam and Eves, they are double bottom patterns that result in the Eve being slightly lower than the Adam pattern. But here you've got the Eve being slightly higher. It's on a 4-hour time frame. It's a very small pattern, but nonetheless, this chart, it's only existed since the 10th of February, at the very end of the 10th, really the 11th of February. It's the 20th now, so not even a full 10 days has this thing existed. So this is what we got. We take a relative low to a relative high. You're finding support in the golden ratio. I think that if you find support in the golden ratio, you reject the 50 to 382 area like this, and you come back into the golden ratio, that gives you a pass down to the 786, 886 area. But you didn't do it. Why didn't you do it, right? Oftentimes, whenever you're supposed to do something, you're supposed to go lower, but you don't do it, that can be a forewarning of bad things, right? Just like up here, from a low to a high, whenever you pull back to your 382 and then you go above your 236 like this, that normally means you're going to go higher. But you didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? And that was a forewarning of bad things to come. All I'm trying to say is, I think that we're about to move up. And the reason I made this video is actually because I wasn't aware. I went through a lot of comments today, you guys. I wasn't aware how many people were so pessimistic on base, right? Tell me that you bought up here without telling me you bought up here, right? There are a lot of you who are, or maybe tell me you bought here, you FOMO'd in on that peak without telling me you FOMO'd in up there, right? There are a lot of you who are pessimistic, and you're not throwing shade at me. I hope you know that I'm talking a little smack there, but I'm not, like, it's not personal. I'm making fun of it, because I've been there. I've been in that situation where I worry about the price going down, but it's really me who's creating these scenarios, right? It's me who bought in these areas that when the price is at absolutely ideal areas to buy. As a speculator, as a person who would invest in this coin, this is an ideal area to buy, right? Ask yourself this question. If you bought here, or if you bought the high, if you didn't, would you buy now? Would you be as panicked? Would you buy now? The answer is probably yes, you would, because I'm telling you, as somebody who's not invested in this coin, who would invest in this coin, it's pretty appetizing down here, especially with all the pessimism and discouragement that I hear. It just makes it mouth-watering, man. So I really do think that we're about to move up. The next target areas to go to would be, since we've already hit here, the next target area would be the 382. Previous areas of support back here, and it's the 382 at 1.16 cents. We're at about 0.008 cents now, so a little bit. We could go there, come back down to the 0.5, find support, and then work our way up to the 236. Again, getting above this line would likely suggest that we go to new all-time highs. 1.4181 cents is the price to beat. Being that we're on a 4-hour time frame and this is the entirety of this thing's existence, I will say that we need probably 2 4-hour candles closing in a row above the 236. If we can get 2 candles closing in a row above the 236, it's a matter of time, no time at all really, before we see new all-time highs. And I do think that we're going to see new all-time highs in a very, very short amount of time, right? From a high here to the low there, whenever we get above 1.75 cents, it's go time. It really is go time. I know I just said that this is when it's time to get excited. 1.4181 cents. That is time to get excited. But based off of this fib, 1.75 cents would be more exciting, right? I suppose this area here would be exciting to validate this as a low, but this area here, the 1.75 cent area, would be exciting because it means that you're going to see new all-time highs in just like a very short amount of time, okay? The next targets are 2.52 cents, something around here. maximum target in the primary target zone, the 1618 to the 1272, that's at about 3.5 cents. Okay, once you break above 3.5 cents, you gain access to the secondary target zone, which is the 1886 to the 2618. Okay, and in case you're wondering, you're not going to find that anywhere. If you look up on Google, what's the primary fib zone? 1272 to the 1618. I mean, maybe some places identify it the same way. Some places might have it differently, right? These are areas that I've identified myself over the years. I've done this now. This is my third bull cycle in crypto. I've done this for 8 years. I've been doing technical analysis for 8 years. I bought my first Bitcoins in 2015. Yes, 2015 to 2025 is 10 years, but no, I didn't start my TA journey until a couple years later, right? A little bit, but I got serious about it in 2017. All I'm trying to say is you're not going to find this primary, secondary, tertiary, target zone, fib stuff. You're not going to find that on the internet somewhere, right? This is something that I've developed over my years trading and I've found success with. And I've identified these zones because generally speaking, you don't tear through your golden ratio without consolidating first in the zone and then you break higher, right? Overall, this move, sure, it can go all the way up here, sure. But along the way, you'll find consolidation. And these consolidation phases happen oftentimes in these individual zones that I've identified, right? And we separate them essentially by the golden ratios. Not always, but generally speaking, it all depends. So getting back to the point here, we're at 0.00833 cents right now. The minimum target that I would accept for this thing by the time it moves up would be the 1618. Okay, and that's about a 4x from here. The maximum target, and for those of you who bought the absolute high, if you did, there's only probably a couple people or one person that did, that's still about an 80% move. So even the guy that bought the worst time possible, or the girl, equality, right? Guys and girls can buy at the worst time together. That would be an 80% move to the upside. The maximum target that I see happening by the end of March, that'd be a 56% move. Even if you bought at the worst time possible, 356, a 4x is on the table. If you bought now, a 4x is the minimum target and a 10.6x is the maximum target. Of course, we have targets that are above that. Sometimes you can go to what I call the money zone. It's kind of the first parts of this tertiary target area. You can go there. I mean, actually, I think that this square, it's supposed to encapsulate the 3786 to be completely fair. But if you were to do that, if we were to see this happen, the 2886 to 3113, to enable that, to make this all part of the same kind of target area, okay, we would have to, on this move, tear above the 1618 and go right up to the 1886. If we can do that, because oftentimes you don't break through your 2618 on its first attempt unless it's in times like this, okay? If we're working our way up, if we're being methodical on our way up, we will likely continue to be methodical on our way up. Does that make sense, right? So all I'm trying to say is if you want these targets to come online, don't be methodical, be vicious, tear through your golden ratio, find support on it. If you do that, you could still find resistance here, but you'd have more of a chance at least. So my true targets, again, just to surmise this, by the end of March, if not the first or second week of March, I'm expecting B3 to be at least at 3.5 cents, which would be a 4.2x from here. At most, I'm expecting a 9 cent target, which would be about a 10x from here, 10.7x from here. And if we're putting our moon boy boots on and we're going for a moon mission, and I'm wrong on the maximum expectation, it is possible that we could see a 14x to maybe a 17x. Anything past that, it really gets highly unlikely, and this already is probably unlikely enough. Anything can happen. You know, last cycle we saw Dogecoin do a 14x in a 2-day period. So, I mean, certainly in a month period, this thing could do a 20x, a 30x. It's crypto. It's a new coin. It's a low cap coin at $177 million. Anything can happen. But using logic, using reason, and just trying to talk about things that make the most sense to me, at least from what I've seen in the crypto markets, I think something around 3.5 cents to 9 cents makes the most sense, with the 14 to 11.5 cent cap being there as well. I got nothing else for you guys. Base 3 really looks appetizing down here. I think it's at really good areas to buy. 1 hour RSI looking good, right? You're getting deep into the overbought zone. You're shallow in the oversold zone. Getting overbought, not getting oversold, that's a good thing, right? Finding support at the 40. You found resistance at the 60. What you want to do now is get this 1 hour to continue to move up and get to the overbought zone. You are in an uptrend right here, higher lows and higher highs. So just keep that going. Don't get below the 40. That's all I got to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. I think this thing's going up, you guys. Nothing to worry about. And in fact, I would buy right here. I think this is a prime area to buy. Take it easy. Bye-bye.